welcome back to Naledi's World. I am Naledi. Thank you so much for tuning in. So this is going to be the second session of the cognitive behavioral therapy. If you have not watched the first video, please do check it out. I'll link it up here, and do the activity that you meant to do, which means that you'd have to watch this video next week. Anyway, I hope if you did watch last week's video that you did actively observe yourself, listen to your thoughts, and identify some automatic thoughts that you have and write them down. So today I'm going to first introduce like a concept, which is the ABC of emotional health. And the A stands for the activating event or a trigger. B stands for your behavioral or emotional reaction to the event. And then C is your cognition, which is what automatic thoughts came up in your head during that time. So we're going to now do an activity with those automatic thoughts that you identified as you were observing yourself over the week. First question with regards to those thoughts is what feeling did you experience the most during that week, right? So which feelings were common basically during the past week. Second question, what were the activating events or triggers for these emotions, right? Third one is there a common theme or pattern that activates these thoughts? And then now think back and just think about how did you react to these feelings. How did you behave, or what did you say, or what did you do in response to those feelings? And now obviously the important part, what automatic thoughts came about from those feelings, that event, that whole scenario? Like what were the thoughts that popped up into your head? So just pause the video, take a minute, and just think about that, reflect on it, right? Now once you've done that, we want to try now and categorize the automatic thoughts into, as we had spoken about them last week, the rules of life, the thoughts that are, this is how things ought to be, or this is how things should be, or this is how things must be. And then the second category is black and white thinking, which is nobody likes me, or I'm a failure, or it's never going to work out. It's just thoughts where it's final and there is no other way about it. You know what I mean? And then the third category is conditional assumptions, which is if this, then that. If the sky is blue, then the sun is not shining. If I work hard, then I will succeed. If I am kind to my friends, then they will not betray me. You know, things like that. So try and categorize them into those three categories. If you feel like you're not really sure which one it falls under, like, it's fine. Because I also just wasn't really able to just put everything into fixed categories like that. So now in today, the mission or the goal of today's session is to challenge these automatic thoughts that come into your brain, right? And we do this by what is called cognitive restructuring or disputation, which is basically just disputing what you're thinking and just restructuring how you think, and just changing things up, right? And you do that there are three strategies to do that, right? To restructure your cognition, to dispute whatever your automatic thoughts are, right? So the first one is by putting your cognitions on trial, putting your automatic thoughts on trial. Examining the evidence that supports it, examining the evidence that is against it, and just, weighing it up and actually seeing, is this really true? Like, what is for this, what is against this? Just having an actual trial for this automatic thought. Then number 2 is to stop and rethink. And this is obviously will require you to be aware, because if you are in a situation where you are now getting lost in the emotions and the thoughts and whatever, you need to be able to you need to be aware in order to be like, hold up, what's happening? Your thoughts are getting ahead of you, you're running with your emotions. Let's take a step back, let's pause, and let's rethink this. Is there a different way of thinking about this? But you would have to, which is why last week I was saying, just practice, just observing yourself and watching how you're behaving, what you're doing. So yes, number 2, you stop while you are in that whole mess. And I think I believe it's going to take like a practice. It's not just going to happen overnight. While you are in that whole chaos and commotion of thoughts and feelings, you just realize, OMG, I need to stop and just reconsider, like, is this really how it is, or could it be some other way? You know what I mean? And then the third one is thinking in the shades of gray. Now you'll notice with a lot of the automatic thoughts, it's like it's either this or that. If it's cold, then I don't know, like, guys, I'm not really good at coming up with examples like off the top of my head, but if I work hard, then I will succeed. So that's a very fixed way of thinking. But you also need to consider like all the shades of gray in the middle. Like, yes, I will succeed, but I will have challenges, and I will fail at some point before I get to succeeding. It doesn't mean that just because you are working hard, you are guaranteed, or I'm going to succeed at this thing. Life can come at you, and you need to be able to realize that it can happen, and these things are a possibility. One way to try and combat these black and white ways of thinking, like, or thinking like, I am a failure, I am unlovable, I am boring, or things like that. Those are legit, like, black and white. It's full stop. To a person who thinks those things, it's factual, but you need to catch yourself in that moment where you're having those thoughts, and just consider, just broaden your mind, open your mind up to other possibilities. Like, maybe you like, if the automatic thought is I am boring, then open your mind up to, maybe I'm not boring, I just have not found people who understand me. You know what I mean? Or maybe I'm not a failure, this just isn't what I'm meant to be doing. You know what I mean? So in order to get to that point, you need to allow yourself to think like that. And the only way that will happen is if, when you start thinking that fixed thought, you catch yourself, and then you're like, whoa, stop, pause, and just reconsider. All right, let's jump into our second activity. So now this activity has to do with the first cognitive restructuring strategy, which is putting your cognition on trial. Sharp. So now think of that automatic thought that usually trips you up. For me, it would be like, you can't do that, like you're incapable. So now that's the automatic thought. It's structured down, it's written down. Now we're putting it on trial. What if this automatic thought is true? What will happen if I believe that? If I believe that I am incapable, then I'm not going to try and do anything. I am not going to achieve any of my dreams. I am not going to learn anything new, because I get, obviously I already think, okay, I'm incapable, then it's already over. I am not going to live the life that I want to live. I'm just shutting myself down. If this thought is true, then it means that like nothing that I want is going to happen, because everything that I desire requires me to do certain things, you know what I mean? And if I believe that I'm incapable, then it's over. Legit, it's over, right? Now, on the other hand, what if this automatic thought is untrue? What will happen if I don't believe it? If I don't believe it? So if I don't believe that I don't believe that I'm incapable, meaning I believe that I am capable, it means I will do it. I will achieve my goals. I will attain new skills. I will travel the world. I will help people. I will do it. That's it. I will do it. Whatever I feel like I want to do, I will do it, and I can do it, because why? I am capable, and so are you. You know. So now, one question to ask in both scenarios, with both questions is, what evidence is there that this automatic thought is true? What evidence is there that this automatic thought is untrue? How does believing this automatic thought help me? For me, believing that I'm incapable does absolutely nothing for me, like nothing at all, because then I will be stuck. Wants to be stuck. Another question to ask in the train of what if it's untrue is, are there any other possible explanations? So me thinking I am incapable, and then I'm like, no man, I am capable. Is there another way of thinking of it? Maybe I'm just not doing this right. You know, maybe I need to read more about how I'm meant to be doing this, or find a mentor. You know what I mean? Is my thinking being clouded by how I'm feeling right now? Maybe I'm frustrated that I'm not getting the views I want on YouTube. So now suddenly I'm thinking I'm incapable, but it's literally just because I'm frustrated. But I just need to keep pushing, and then we'll get there. This is an important part. Am I forgetting some important detail, or focusing on a particular detail of the situation? I think let's just stick to me and YouTube, actually, because it is something I am doing and thinking about and whatever. Me focusing on the number of subscriptions is not helping me at all. You know, what I feel like I should be focusing on is just putting out quality content. So if I focus on the number of subscribers, then it will feed into the thought of me thinking I'm incapable, because it's not up to the expectation that I had set for myself when I started the channel, right? But if I decide to add other factors, not just focusing on subscription, thinking about the fact that I get comments from people who are like, I enjoy your content, wah 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 wah, the quality is great, the information you're putting out is important. You know, the people who are watching are enjoying it, and they are finding it useful. You know what I mean? So in your situation, you have to try and not get lost in what you're thinking, what you're feeling, but just look at it from different ways. And that's when you'll see that, no man, this automatic thought, young putel, like honestly, young putel, like I am capable, right? So that is activity 1. Activity number 2. I really think you should do that, this activity. The thing happened with this cognitive behavioral thing, it's time consuming, but how much do you how much of a priority is your mental health? How much of a priority is it for you to ensure that your thoughts are helping you live your life in, like, making life easier for you? You get what I mean? So it's a winner. And I'm just giving you the tools, honestly. That's all I'm doing. All right, now this is for the second one. The second strategy, which is to stop and rethink, right? So in that moment when I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like, winning, I've been putting out so many videos, people aren't subscribing, I'm putting it on Instagram, I'm putting it on Twitter, people are just not doing the things, and I'm like, whoa, just stop. Then here are some questions that I can ask myself, right? If a close friend of mine was in the same situation, what would you say to them, right? Number two, how would someone else think of a situation? So I think with this one, you would have to find a person who you aspire to be like, someone who motivates you, someone who inspires you, and just think, okay, like, man, if Oprah was in this situation, she wouldn't just take it lying down, you know, so why am I, you know what I mean? Things like that. I think that can help. Am I setting an unrealistic or unobtainable goal for myself? And this one actually is kind of like a tricky one for me, because I don't think my goals are unrealistic or unattainable. My problem is just I'm not a very patient person, and like, God has really been putting me in situations where I have to be patient, and I am growing that patience bone somewhere, you know what I mean? Yeah. Is this thought distorted? Question mark. Am I over generalizing? Am I thinking in all or nothing terms? This all or nothing thing is also something that a lot of the youth today is suffering from, where you want, you know, everything. You're coming for everything, and if it's not everything, then I don't want it. And obviously this is a good attitude to have in life, where, you know, you only want the best for yourself, but you must just be careful that you are not shutting all your doors. Do you get what I mean? Oh, another question is, am I overestimating how much control and responsibility I have in the situation? Because we can't control everything. Like, we really can't. And sometimes you just need to let things happen as they are happening, and just flow with it. Activity B4, which is about the shades of gray, where you realize that things aren't always either or. There are a lot of options in the middle, right? The shades of gray between black and white. Think of first step is to think of a situation where you thought of things as black or white, where, you know, you were just rigid in your thinking and you oversimplified the situation in terms of whether it's all good or all bad. Just think about that situation. In the book they talk about writing it down. If you want to write it down, just write it, and just describe what was going on in that situation. Then the second step, what were the automatic thoughts you had in that situation? Yeah. And then step 3, what were the consequences of seeing the situation in those absolute terms? For example, if I wake up and it's gloomy outside, and then the first thing that comes to my head is today is going to be a bad day, right? What are the consequences of me thinking and believing that it's going to be a bad day just because it's gloomy outside, right? How did it impact my feelings, and shape my behavior? So I would already feel sad, moving slow, you know, just everything is just on a downward trend just because of that automatic thought, right? Step 4 now is trying to challenge that thought, right? These are questions now that you will have to answer with regards to that situation, obviously. Is there another way to see the situation in a less polarized way? Like, yes, it's gloomy, but we'll see what the day has to offer, you see? is there anything good or potentially redemptive in the situation? Yes, it's gloomy and rainy, but if it rains, my plants will get watered. Then I don't then I don't have to go and water them. Right? How might someone else view the situation? Someone else might love rain and be really happy that it's raining because it's raining. You know, some people like rain. Is there a way to understand the situation without making any judgments or evaluations? Then I would think it's gloomy. I guess the clouds just rolled in from the Atlantic Ocean. Full stop. No judgment, no evaluation. Like that's just what it is, you know. So now take that thought that you had, the automatic thought that you mentioned in step 2, and just try to rephrase it now. Like, think of it now. You've answered these questions in step 4. Now see how you could have thought about this whole situation differently, right? Now, yeah, this video is kind of long, but this is now the meaty part of the session.